Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I've created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to explain how to actually manifest to people around the world, for people of all walks of life, to make it digestible, bite sized, not some woo woo, endless conversations, but to really offer the tools to people that will help them succeed. And so I offer coaching, and my coaching is unlike any other coaching because of the research that I had done for the last 15 years. I've been a coach for 10 years, the last 10 years, and I've coached many different personalities, many different people of all walks of life. I've coached for 7 years off of YouTube people of entertainment, comedians, actors, singers, people of that nature, business people, businessmen and women alike. And almost 3 years ago, I came on YouTube because during COVID, I had this inclination to create something to help people feel better. And initially, I started talking about other things, about universe, etc. And I was asked to talk about his piece. And here we are, we're finding ourselves almost 3 years later. I'm coaching with relationships. And this is a topic that, particularly in my case, I can speak to very easily, because it was my issue as well, 15 years ago. And I feel like I have a lot to teach and to talk about in this specific department. So my coaching is structured in this manner. We first cover your history. This is a must do. We process the emotions that are associated right now for you, um, with what I call mama drama panorama. Something traumatic, something really unpleasant that formed your world, meaning your beliefs first, and then ultimately formed your world. And so now you find yourself in this kind of a cycle. The second part, like I already mentioned, is the processing of emotions. There's a lot of forgiveness that takes place in my coaching. A lot of beliefs are being rewritten. And this I do unlike any other coach. I'm convinced of this because, again, I've done the research. Everything I say is 100% true on this channel because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Simple like that. Okay. And I offer, seminars now. If you want to join my seminar in June, you need to pre-book. I have not decided on a date yet, but I'm thinking about also maybe offering a recording. I'm not sure yet. So comment below what your suggestions are as far as that goes. The last part of my coaching is to teach you the energy work that will help you amplify your manifestations through the roof. We cover everything that you need in order to set up your new life. I literally help people set up their businesses, okay, to quit their jobs, to help them decide where they want to live, who they want to marry. If that's not DSP, then who? There's all sorts of things that are happening. So whatever you need help and understand, please, that the SP is just the tip of the iceberg. Chances are you're watching this because there's other parts in your life that need addressing first. Okay, so it is never about SP. It's just a byproduct of whatever you have yet to deal with. And everybody's on their journey. So it might take you a month in my coaching if you're advanced, but I usually recommend like 2 to 3 months. Now, don't quote me on this. This is just kind of like an example. I know people that spend a month in my signature coaching, which is how you start. And then, we downgrade to twice a week and then once a week. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then maybe, I don't know, in a year's time, they come back to me for touch ups, things like that. So, but to know that you need to do the work and to do nothing about it, that's not an option if you're aware of, that you do need help, kind of deal. Okay, so that's that. So I talked about the seminar, and yeah, if you have any questions about the coaching, you need to email me. You need to book a 1 hour session first. This is mandatory for us to meet and greet and decide that we're both right for each other. Okay, so today's topic, How am I doing? 5 minutes into it. Woohoo! Today's topic is yours people not be able to stay away. And so everybody wants this magic potion, number nine, that you'll just like sprinkle over your head and everything will be fixed. And your SP will change magically and they will come running to you and all this kind of stuff. Now, the magic potion number nine is your energy. Okay, let's just kind of like synopsis first and then we'll break it down in steps. Um, your energy, if polluted by something that's obstructing this desire, will continuously prevent you from manifesting anything that you want. It will be hard for you. Okay. When you see these people that everything is fucking hard for them, they have not been honest with themselves about how they really feel. It's really easy to manifest if you just understand how you feel, period. Okay. Also understand that your factory setting, the way that you're constructed as a person, is bliss, is happiness, is ultimately knowing you're all powerful, using it benevolently. Underline 300 million times. I think it's obvious, but if you use it against somebody else, you will be the receiver of that intention because there's only you in the universe. So in that sense, never wish anybody ill. You don't have to to get what you want. So recognizing how you feel is easy than running around and trying to fix everybody and every fucking thing. You're going to get tired. This is why I'm not such a big fan of this, like everybody's you pushed out. No, excuse me, I cannot be responsible for the rest of the fucking world. I can only be responsible for the immediate circle. So if you're standing on the stage, I like this analogy very much, and I've used it in coaching because it kind of like cuts to the chase and really just visually explains it very well. You're on the stage. The stage is only has room enough for one person. Why? Because you're the golden Buddha. Okay, you're in the middle of it all. And imagine you're in the middle of the theater, and around you there's this amphitheater of people, just the world essentially at large. Why do I give a shit about what the person in the last row is doing? I don't, because it has nothing to do with me. They're crazy, whatever, let's just say. But the immediate 2 to 3 rows, people you interact with, your lover, your husband, your wife, your postman, okay, I don't know. Yeah, that's important, but everybody else is you pushed out. I'm sorry, that's a gross exaggeration. Neville, as brilliant as he was, not for nothing, was kind of like really um what's the word, dense in the way that he explained things. Okay, a little dense, I want to say. So recognizing how you feel instead of, well, I gotta do something to affect another person. Well, the only person you're affecting is yourself. The only person you can have control over is yourself. And that's more than enough. The only person who's going to make decisions of what happens next is you. You if you are struggling with that concept of the kind of power you have, notice on a shitty day, which is probably easiest by now for you, to easily notice how one thing after another goes wrong. So you're recognizing that, right? But so then why is it then, well, that's, everybody's, a lot of people's, I should say, problem. When things go right after one another, you get spooked because maybe you can accept all the good things all at once. But it's how you feel. And I think job one is recognizing that you could do something about that. And if you're not doing something about it, either of two things: either you are lazy, which happens, or you just simply don't understand how it works. In either case, there's something you can do. There's something you can do about how you feel. Okay. So if you're still in a position where you haven't been honest about how you feel and you haven't addressed the mama drama panorama, which bleeds into all of your departments of your life, primarily with yours P. Why is that so? I think it's self-evident because the universe is trying to grab your attention for the millionth time, probably, and it's letting you know, listen, darling, it's not going to work until you understand that you have to part with some kind of an idea, that you're having this issue right now with relationships, period, and then you're watching this and you're trying to like dig up a magic potion out of YouTube is kind of like um gives me the information that you're still looking for the answer from the outside. So I can spend an hour with you and I'll figure it out. Let's just say what exactly needs fixing. And it may be obvious to you, but you just haven't addressed it the right way. But make no mistakes, energies, when you're interacting with benevolent energies, everything is energy in that sense. Some people like to go as far as say entities and, all this kind of stuff like good entities, bad entities, whatever, energy. Okay. When you have pollution in your aura, it's kind of like, you're made of this kind of like, I don't know, Velcro jacket that everything like that sticks to. Okay. So no matter what you do, no matter what kind of affirmations you do, it isn't going to mean anything versus a person who, let's just say, has been honest and confronted head on, unapologetically, and very humbly. It's a humbling experience because sometimes we're under the impression that, yes, we're intelligent people. Why can't we fucking figure this simple shit out and this and that? Okay, it's not about intelligence though. Again, it's energy. Are you are you holding room still for something that doesn't belong in your energy? And this could be insecurity, this could be fear, this could be doubt, this could be doubt in your ability, you name it. Anything that is a deviation from I'm the golden Buddha, I'm all powerful, I don't need to hurt anybody to get my way, I am forever blissful and this money and abundance and do. Any deviation from that, you just something that's a symptom that there is an idea present in your consciousness that you have not explored and literally like stared like this in the face and gone to town, okay, to explore and understand and exhaust it emotionally, intellectually. This is why the beginning of my coaching it resembles therapy because I'm trying to collect the pieces of your puzzle called your consciousness. But this is the process, the energy itself of this experience or experiences plural. And if it was your parent, it was a repetitive pattern of, let's just say, as an example, your mom or your dad was a narcissist or some toxic something. And there was a repetitive, it's a pattern, and you knew no different. That takes unlearning to do. That takes like literally rewiring your whole fucking brain. I've been there, I've done it. It's literally like you feel it on a physical level. Like the amount of upgrades I received as I was doing all, like really just not knowingly at the time, but like doing my own research, spiritual research, if you want to call it, metaphysical research, manifestational research. I could feel the physical changes in my body. I would cry a lot. I would lose weight. My skin got brighter. It was crazy what was happening. I started looking younger. I remember this precisely. So there's like this energy leaving, this energy leaving and being processed. It's a literal physical thing that happens to you. And if you're not meditating in the morning, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. You need to meditate like you're taking a shower. It's literally like taking a shower for the soul. The soul needs to realign. The soul knows. The soul part of you always is, pushing you towards your authenticity. If you are being derailed throughout your day, okay, from your authentic feeling, from what you actually want to experience, you need to realign your soul. Yourself, but your soul is already aligned. Don't worry about it. I misspoke. You need to realign your conscious mind. Either in the morning or at night, you owe yourself this, oop, back to center, back to center. If you're really kind of in a turbulent phase of your life right now, then you need to meditate 3 times a week. Excuse me, a day. That's what I would do. You're welcome. So, reconnecting with that part of you, not thinking, oh, if I do this, will anybody will be pissed? Or if I conduct myself like I really want to, is anybody gonna mind? Or is anybody gonna say something? If I stand up for myself, am I gonna get into trouble? All of these bullshit stories and bullshit programming that you've picked up from Mama Drama Panorama. And so now imagine, fast forward, here you are, you want to get married, you want to reconnect with your SP, you want to fix the relationship, whatever your situation is. And it's kind of like you can't like make it happen because it's not going to happen on the outside, it's going to happen inside. Because if it happens on the inside of your mind, like I say all the time, the whole fucking world can fall apart. You don't give a shit. You know what you're getting at the end of the story. You can say, I know how the story ends, kind of deal. Okay? Excuse me. I'm so thirsty today. It's like 80 degrees in Manhattan. Holy shit, banana. My hair is extra freezy today. Anyway, so it's the air that you put on in the morning with your clothes, with your attire, when you fix your hair, when you fix your makeup. Who are you? And again, I want to be careful when I explain this. Which version of yourself are you? Because there are myriads and myriads of versions of you who have this confidence. Confidence in what? In yourself, because you are supported by the divine. If you're deviating from the divine and engaging in stories in a position of basically arguing against yourself being, I'm going to use the religious term, God's child, universe's child, you're causing yourself problems. And if you altogether go all the way on the other spectrum and start getting inspired doing evil shit, there's that's not going to help you in any shape or form, nor do you need to. You can do everything effortlessly through your energy, through your vibration, through your communication with the divine, of the reality and the version of yourself that right now, parallel, not even a millimeter away, is living out the story, but effortlessly so. But effortlessly so. It might get you some time, if there's turbulence, to zero in on this reality, to find this tonality, this symphony within you that really represents who you are. Because you've forgotten all about it. And I understand this is what I help people to remember in my coaching. Because I coach a lot of people over 40 and 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s even. Some of them are in their 30s, but the majority are over 40. They've forgotten all about it, forgotten all about what it feels like to be you, authentic you, not needing to please anybody, not working fucking hard on things that should be normal and natural. And you intellectually, you understand that it should be, because you're looking at other people like, how come these people get it? Like I hear this all the time in my coaching. Anna, I don't understand. These people have nothing on me. They don't. It's not about having anything on anybody. It's the vibration. It's like you wake up in the morning, you're putting on your clothes. Who are you this morning? Who are you today? What are you about? What's the representation of this tune that you put out in the universe that comes back to you as certain version kind of story of this person? This person you're crazy about is more under your control than you realize, than you will ever realize, I think. They have absolutely zero chance to oppose you. Everything that they will do in the 3D. Understand they're doing it because you told them to. You told them to on some level. So again, trusting yourself then becomes, if I am this person and I'm putting on this person, I'm starting with myself, is the easiest place to start. Start with yourself. How do I feel today? Do I feel fabulous? Do I feel victorious? Do I feel on top of the world, even though nothing has changed since last night? And what kind of instructions do I want to give out to this person specifically, but now consciously? Okay. In other words, go get your fucking SP with your thoughts, with your energy. If you are totally in sync with this idea that I can have them just like that, they will come running to you. But it isn't until energetically you are inviting them in. The energy, what is this energy? This energy is like, I can have you like this. This is the energy. It's like you go, I don't know, to check your mail and there it is. Do you work hard for that? No. Okay. It's the same thing with when you, I mean, and please go listen to the audio I posted the day before yesterday, about how to get back your SP Golden Buddha style. Okay. Just listen to it. Just absorb even the energy. Sometimes it's not just about the words, just absorb the energy. I was so fucking inspired that morning. It's the full immersive experience. You entering that world in the morning, you have an opportunity to put on a different version of yourself who's already behaving like they have everything. So it's your chance every morning to claim your SP. If you claim them in your mind and you say, you're mine, you're not anybody else's. I claim you. That's it. Just like an object, yes. I claim you, and in my mind, if I am going to assign this role to you that you're with me, there's no possible, no matter what happens. They may even get back together with their, I don't know, ex or somebody like that. But if in my mind I continue to exercise my power, my magical power, of being self-persuaded, of being self-convinced, like I don't give a shit what happens on the outside. I know what I'm putting out. I know exactly. I've made friends with myself. I've made friends with my darkness. I've reconciled with my own golden Buddha status. I know exactly what I'm doing. So whatever happens is part of my plan and it serves me. This is the kind of confidence, this is the kind of stability you're working towards. So the other, one more thing I wanted to say, and then I'll go into my notes and I'll give you some notes. Here's an analogy for you that I came up with again in coaching the other day. It's like, one of these things that you plug in into the wall and it has like a perfumed oil of some kind and it smells really wonderful. Well, it actually doesn't smell wonderful, but you know what I mean. My incense is better, the one that, but if you don't keep the plug-in long enough in in the wall, it's not going to fill the room with the aroma. It's not. It's just nothing's going to happen. So when you start putting on a new version of yourself in the morning with that air of, please, SP, I can have 500 million SPs. I can have anybody I want. Can have anybody I want. It's easier. Try it out. It's easier than you'll ever know. Universe does not take jokes. Does not have a sense of humor. I can have anybody I want. Yep, they're gonna come back and propose to me. The totally changed person. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if they proposed to me? All sorts of games you can play once you process the mama drama panorama and be humble enough. I want to stress this. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you watch a lot of videos. I know you, whatever, research and read and do. There's nothing like being honest with yourself. If there's still a scintilla of ego involved and you're not letting in room for any kind of improvement or kind of tweaking, I don't know what to say. You need to be open to suggestions, especially if you're going to come in for advice from me. I'm just speaking from experience, what I've already done like several times over. So if you want to do it like without sweating about it, without this horrible yearning, for somebody that right now you might not have and suffer the entire fucking time. I'm just giving you the shortcut, right? So with the example with the oil, the plug-in oil scent, just stick it in and keep it plugged in. Keep that version plugged in. No problem if one day you're not feeling so hot. Take the day off. Don't do any manifesting or whatever. But just know that that is now your new center. When you wake up in the middle of the night and somebody asks you, who are you? You will say, I'm a very confident person. I have no problem getting my SP, no problem keeping them, this and any other. I am completely self-assured, and whatever I decide goes. This is your goalpost. I just remember there were some questions, so I'm going to leave that for last though. So anyway, somebody remind me that there are some questions. Anyway, I'm still using the same software, and can somebody comment when you guys get a chance so I know that this still works as far as comments? That would really be nice. Unless I close that window and now whatever. Anyway, so here are the 4 steps simplistically, very simply. Everything profound and everything that works is very simple. It should be simple. It should be able, like, it should be like a child can follow it. So every time I'm trying to give you these things. So, all right, everybody comes to my coaching always distraught, okay? Distraught and really kind of feeling let down by their SP, by the world, and this and that. So I want to say that the number one priority, if you're coming to coaching with me, if you're doing it on your own, I mean, I actually wouldn't advise to do this on your own, because this is exactly why I feel like it takes such a long time. So if you can get some help, if you can't, well, I guess continue watching videos. I don't know what to say. But the number one is the most important part, is to stabilize your energy. Right? You cannot be gasping for air, wanting this SP, salivating after them, placing them above yourself. Like, that shit's gotta go. Your energy needs to start being stable. Like, every single time somebody comes into my coaching, like I said, they're really like razzled and distraught, really yearning for that person, really upset. The number one order of business is to calm the fuck down. Really, I mean it. It is not an emergency. In fact, if you're making it an emergency, it's going to take you longer. And the number one thing is to turn all of this around and realize, if I'm going to stay in the state of panic, I'm going to keep producing this reality that is headed only one way, and it's not my way. So to disembark from that reality, you have got to calm down. You have got to sit down, drink some chamomile tea. And this, not for nothing, is a huge part of what I do in my coaching, because it's very difficult to do on your own. You need to talk it out. You need to express yourself. You need to say all the things that you want to say, especially, if there was something that really bothered you about what they did and you can't talk to anybody about it. I have that all the time. And these things are very private. So, most often than not, people don't talk to about these things to anybody but me, kind of deal. For your own sake, you need to chill, cool your cookies. Okay, not to drive yourself crazy. It's not more important than you, this issue. So calming down and getting yourself out of this junkie mode. You're not looking for another text from them. You're not looking for another email from them. You're not looking for nothing until you can literally calmly proceed doing things in your world that you need to do. If your mind is constantly over there with this person and you're worried and you're obsessed and you're looking up their social media and you're, talking to their relatives and this and that to find out the scoop, darling, no. Just don't prolong the fucking suffering. The chasing at some point is gotta end, because the chasing can be, like I often say, energetic. You looking up somebody on social media is quite frankly stalking. Okay, don't do that shit. You're above that. Number one. So bring your energy home for your own sake and start calming down. Okay, that is where your power is. When you take your energy back home. Energy Shifting your energy closer and closer to the golden Buddha status, which I already explained, is your authentic self. Number two is examine what actually makes you happy. And this is so important. This is of paramount importance, yet people completely forget everything about themselves and I've been there. Like, I understand where you are. Like, trust me, I really fucking do, because I've been there, like, desperate, having my phone in my hand 24/7 and waiting for another call, no, 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 no. Your life needs to be about you. You need to figure out what you actually want to do, what you actually love about life. And a lot of people don't take the time because they're so about that fucking person that their life is not theirs anymore. So deciding what makes you happy for a change, especially, listen, that's a kind of like double whammy with some people. They're a people pleaser, and on top of it, they're obsessed with that person. Oof, it's like, take a break. Take a break. Do something for yourself today. You have no idea the amount of energy that will flood into your life. Energy that creates good shit for you. Stop giving away your energy. When you're obsessing, you're still giving away energy. The energy is leaking. Of course, they're not going to be calling you. It's just physical. It's almost physical, rather. It's energy when it's like leaking out is going towards somebody else. And believe me, they're very fucking flattered. But what do we care? We want results, okay? Not fucking them being flattered. So examining what makes you happy. When your energy is calm, you're more about yourself. You don't feel like your life depends on, oh, I better hurry up and fucking become perfect. And Anna, let's fix me quickly so I can go and show him how calm I am. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? That is not what I'm talking about. I really mean you have to calm down for real. I really mean you have to start being about yourself. I really mean you have to put on this air like, bitch, please, I can have anybody. What have you done for me lately? It's like Janet Jackson's song, if you know. You got to exit this cycle. Being about this person, obsessing about this issue, period, rather than obsessing about your SP. I very much want you to obsess about you in the healthiest of manners. Obsessing about how you feel. How am I feeling right now? How am I feeling right? But not obsessive, like not over the top either, but just, why did my feeling shift? Like finding out things that make you happy, things that make you sad, following through. Why did I just react this way? Could I have said this better? But why did I say it this way? Is there a trigger? Is there an idea underneath it all? That's what I do. Okay. When you're more about yourself, you've just flipped the script. You've just completely reversed roles. There's a really good video on my channel, how to permanently reverse roles with your SP. I can't believe I just said this without making a mistake. Anyway, you're gonna flip the script on them when you become about yourself. Your energy has to come back home. That's where it fucking belongs, darling. Belongs. Thumb up if you're enjoying or getting anything out of this. I would really appreciate to spread the message around the world. So, exiting the cycle even though everything around you is showing you the evidence of the past choices of the parallel realities that you did not prefer, begins with deciding what you would rather have now, once you're calm and about yourself. And either of two things happen, and this happens consistently in my coaching, either of two things will happen. Either, drum roll, you will decide that after all, you're not so hot for that SP of yours, because there's plenty of reasons, and maybe they've done something and you can get past. Because listen, once your standards raise, your preferences shift. No question about it. So once you process your drama, trauma, panorama, you become about yourself, you respect yourself more. You have a newfound level of respect. The wait a minute, I'm not fucking settling. I'm not behaving like this little person anymore. What are you talking about? I'm the golden motherfucking Buddha. Hello, good morning, how are you? You've got it all wrong, darling. You need to, like, you know, fuck around and find out. You better check yourself. Check it to check yourself. I'm not doing that anymore. This is my party now. And you're overdue for that fucking party. So either you're not gonna want that SP back, or excuse me, you don't want them after all, or you will realize that you don't need your SP to be happy. That you can be happy with or without them. And that's a golden moment in my coaching, unlike anything. I'm so happy when I can reach that. When the person understands they don't really need the SP to be happy, that this is an accessory, not the reason to live. Okay? It's nice to have romantic relationships that go your way, darlings. It's nice to have a wonderful marriage, but it's so much more important to have a good relationship with yourself, because that's how you'll achieve that perfect marriage. That's how you will attract any fucking SP and they won't be able to stay away from you, because it's they can feel it at a distance. People can feel it, even if they don't understand metaphysics, even if they don't speak the language of law of assumption or law of attraction. It radiates out of you. You have it dialed in. Do you know how fucking sexy that shit is? Not like, oh, I want you to give me what I didn't get from my mother. Come on, darling, come on. And listen, I've been there. This is why I'm telling you, don't make these mistakes, which you owe the self-care to yourself. Then present the best version, the best model of yourself to the version of SP you actually prefer. On that frequency, you will be able to rendezvous with that version. And not for nothing, but I remember being in relationships when my life was not together. And I remember being like in a conversation with somebody who I acutely was aware had a much wealthier, not in the sense necessarily just money, but a lot richer life than I could ever begin to have at that moment. And me feeling really mediocre and inferior. That's not a good place to be. When you invest in yourself, you start having better relationships. Then you can start commanding your relationships into any direction that you please. Then you are in charge. Because now that you understand who you are, your light shines through. You don't need them for validation, for approval. God, no. Please avoid that at all costs. The only person's validation that you ever need is yourself. How am I feeling right now? Am I feeling like a golden Buddha? Am I feeling like I'm on top of the world? Do I feel like I'm doing a good job, becoming better and better and elevating each and every single day without having to ask for an approval from anybody? If the answer is yes, then you have it made, my darling. Okay. Let me just refer to my notes, excuse me, so I don't miss anything. When your self-esteem rises, your preferences will change. They will change. Okay. When you have new standards and you found respect, you re-examine things big time, bigly. And you realize I can have fun by myself. In other words, I don't need to be in a marriage. I don't need to be part of a couple to have fun. Like, you're not miserable because you're not with somebody. You're miserable because there's something to deal with within your psyche. When you are becoming a happier individual, everything just naturally gravitates towards you. And you can be dealing with problems and this and that, but on a whole, you will not be blocking your blessings, so to speak. Sorry to get biblical on you today, or religious rather. But that is the mechanism. Okay. So you can have fun by yourself. And in fact, it makes it more fun to be around you. When you're having more fun, when you're just generally vibrating on a higher frequency, no fucking SP will be able to stay away from you. Are you joking? Everybody wants this energy. Everybody gravitates towards people to just naturally radiate the sunny, benevolent, positive, uplifting energy. They will be just eating it up, you know, like ice cream or whatever you please. You know, not for nothing. I've been learning how to make a vegan carrot cake. Holy shit, bananas, so good, so good, criminally good. Anyway, so you have all the tools in your hands because you have yourself. You're the number one tool. You are like an actor. I always refer to this analogy because it's easy. You're an actor. It's a one actor show, one woman or a one man show. You're standing in the middle of a theater and everybody's a spectator. And whenever you're radiating happiness, people naturally, the theater fills in and everybody wants to be around you, etc., etc. When you're feeling grumpy, when you're feeling displeased with yourself, most importantly, when you're feeling down on yourself, criticizing yourself, finding fault with yourself, please understand this is not a normal course of being. You acquired that repetitive pattern somewhere, and now it's considered normal in your world. It is not normal. This is why you're having issues. Okay. And finally, number four, you've dealt with your ideology that doesn't belong anymore, meaning your drama, trauma, panorama. You figured out what you want from life just by yourself, with or without your SP. You've come to the conclusion that, hey, wait a minute, I don't need anybody to be happy. And maybe I don't even want that SP. Maybe I want another one. Or fine, I want this one, but I want to become the version that I want to become in order to see myself as a golden couple with this person. Notice that I did not say that I want to be good enough for him. I want to level up so I can be a part of golden couple, knowing that when I level up, I will be part of a golden couple because the other person will mirror me. Okay? Very important, because nobody really wants to be in a relationship with a person who solely depends on you for approval. Nobody. Okay? Depends on you for approval. Yes, you are okay. Yes, you're doing good. You need to know that. You need to internally know that that is the only way to be in charge of the narrative of any relationship. You need to be self-assured and self-secure, and yes, self-secure, self-assured that you're doing a good job. Why? Because that's how you feel. Number four, effortless manifestation zone. After all of this process of you calming down, etc., you're finally in a creative zone. And let me tell you something, this is untouchable. You completely, like, you levitating above the ground, not caring about anything, finally deciding to be your true golden Buddha self. And that's ecstasy, that's bliss, that's where you belong every single day. And then when you're true to your authentic vibration, and I already spoke about it, not anger, not frustration, not revenge, nothing like that. When you're operating from bliss, it's game over. Nobody can do anything to you. Nobody can do anything to you. Nobody can sabotage your manifestations. Um, no third party. Nobody. Nobody under the sun can ever um, change what's coming to you. 1 second. And now, excuse me, I'm going to read some questions that people sent. Sorry, 1 second. If I could find my own post. Okay. So I have a couple questions here. PSBNZ 06 says, wondering how you can tell when someone is projecting their issues / will onto you, as opposed to someone, multiple people mirroring, excuse me, your state of being back to you or reflecting back to your self-concept. That's a good question. I love it. Hold on 1 second. I just have to fix my lipstick. You know what I think about this? I think that exactly what I just said. If you are in your golden energy, if you are in your golden Buddha status, and somebody, let's just say, is attempting to project on you, it will feel so fake to you that you will be like, oh, I see you. Yeah. That, you see what I'm saying? There's no resonance. Oh, this is you talking about you. Yeah, got it. And that's also something I had to learn, especially in coaching, and just, in relationships, period. And I did take some psychology classes, so it was a confirmation for me that people do project a lot. They tell you about themselves the entirety of time. So if it resonates with you, then this is definitely a projection of you. If it doesn't resonate, then that's somebody else's bullshit. I hope I answered that. But that's kind of like the gist of it. The resonance. Laura P. Hi, Laura. She says, I have a good one. How to maintain your manifestations. We often manifest what we want, but have a hard time keeping it. Thanks. Very simply put, if you go back to center and remind yourself who you really are and what it is you're working on, and I cover this extensively in coaching, and please go listen to that audio that I mentioned, how to bring back something to the effect of how to bring back SP Golden Buddha style. It's there. This is how I manifest. This is the easiest way to understand. But listen to it. My material is not for people, unless somebody doesn't understand my style, who seek instant gratification, precisely because I want you to keep manifestations that you acquire. I don't want, so many clients that come to me that say, yeah, I worked with this coach and I achieved that, but then I lost it all, or even went in a minus. Okay, so that wasn't really what we're going for, or, right? So I want you to call me a year from now and say, Anna, everything I fucking built in my mind and everything we worked on quadrupled, quintupled, times 1,000 kind of deal. And I think as long as you construct this world with decision and you make certain decisions like, this is my house, this is my honey, this is my money, and day in and day out, remind yourself of the version you are, that you really are. Doesn't matter that right now the circumstances don't show it to you. If you're making a decision that the day of, nothing really is gonna happen. But if you consistently go back there and feed the creation with your energy in the right way, this is why I teach energy work. When you deliberately, I mean, this is like amplified a million kind of deal. Intention in the right direction, that you want to, let's just say, quantum leap, Um, that's a powerful intention, and I teach people how to do what I call magic spells. It's not a magic spell in the sense of witchcraft. It's just I think I called it that for simplicity's sake, but what that really means is that you're sending out an energy. You're doing that already. You're sending out thought forms already. When you are being a scholar of manifestation and you're deliberate and you're wise about it, you take the time to build on it so that it stays. Because the reverberation of that energy that you will continue sending out day in and day out, it's like a bank account, man. So as long as you're feeding that bank account, let's just say dedicated to your SP, and there are consistent deposits, you have the honey. Okay, if you stop making deposits and you turn around and start wasting money on stupid shit and stupid thoughts, you know what I mean? That's so it's all a journey, and any journey that is destructive right now, it could be interrupted at any moment in time. There could be a decision made, like, you know what? I'm not going that route anymore. I want to quantum leap. I want to jump realities in a significant way where I'm making different decisions. Beautiful. But once the decision is made, stick to the decision. And I'm not asking for perfection by any stretch of the imagination. But the fact that you have to be consistent is for shit sure. There's no other way to achieve anything. It's kind of like I gave the example of me losing weight in November, which thank God I went back to normal. People said, "Oh my God, Anna, you had a glow up." I'm like, "No, I just lost weight." It wasn't easy. It was discipline, you know, eating like, I don't know, 1,200 calories a day, only once a day. It's an effort kind of deal. But guess what? If your body responds to it, and mine certainly did, it was miraculous. It was like 20 pounds in 1 month. That's the kind of deliberate effort that you really need in your life. But again, those who manifest effortlessly are just free of that bullshit that originally really troubled them. If you're going to continue being troubled by something, it didn't have to happen necessarily in your childhood. But if you're going to continue being troubled by something, it means you're resonating on the same frequency. When you're done feeding that energy, just like you're feeding, let's just say, your SP's creation day in and day out, that's a manifestation you want. When you stop feeding the creation that bothers you energetically, you will see it will disintegrate. So, like I said, it's where do you invest the energy? And so, if right now the energy is invested, let's just say the the bet is placed on I am lonely, I am alone. That's what's in your mind right now. Those are the thought forms coming out of your mind, out of your consciousness. It's so hard to meet nice men. All men cheat, and blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. All right. That's your theater kind of deal. So disengaging from these, like, in that sense, everything is real, everything is true. So you can speak a lot of things into existence. Um, but understand that it's you who's narrating the story. It's like underneath it all, there's like a, the narrator. Let's bring this narrator up and let's have a conversation that is on paper. When you look at your thoughts on paper, you will be like, well, of course, this is why. But why stay in that energy kind of situation? So I hope I explained all of this correctly. Thank you very much for watching. I wish I knew where my fucking comments were. I'm sure I'll figure out by next time. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about my coaching, either comment or just send me an email. It's easiest. And like I said, if you want to sample my coaching through coming to a seminar for beliefs, which I mentioned, book that. But irregardless, if you want to be part of my coaching, please don't forget there's also a coaching agreement with the hour that you're going to book. And then we will discuss your schedule and when you can start and all of that kind of jazz. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.